the touch map. We went over Odegaard, and again, I don't think it was going to be one, but we're not creating. Look at the touch map. My eyes might be poor, yeah, but that's 3 touches in their box. Doesn't matter if you have Gyökeres or Haaland, Isaac. There's something that needs to be changed there, and I'm not expecting it to change overnight, but there is something there. Gyökeres didn't have a shot in a league game for the first time since he left Coventry in 2023, so we're covering new ground. 21 touches, 9 passes, 0 shots, a difficult start. But it's cool, Gyökeres. It's all building. It's all building. And Arteta, this is what we need you to do. Because when you leave him with space, 1 against 1, he's going to destroy you. Put him where he can destroy people. Hey. You got Sesko. Gyökeres is going to score goals. Relax. You got Sesko. You spent all that money on all them attackers you've accumulated throughout the last few years and couldn't bag against Calafiori and that. Half-pit Ben White. Raya, who's been drunk the whole pre-season. Really? Hey, relax. Because I know you don't rate Sesko. You don't want Sesko. This is coming to a stadium near you very soon. It's cool, man. It's cool, bro. You got Sesko and Burmo. You thought it was cold, innit? And I think everyone remembers this moment, man. I'm not going to lie. The runs that Saka was making off the ball were dead. I actually think Martinelli, to a degree, was more prominent than Saka. But again, Martinelli's got his own issues of itself. Again, Tactical Tuesdays will go over all of that, people. But again, the passes, bro. You don't provide. You got someone that's hungry. You've got to cook the food and put it on a plate for them to eat, innit? We're not doing that. So we're going to have to hold that. Unfortunately, Fabrizio Romano spoke today and said Tottenham and Crystal Palace chairmen Daniel Levy and Steve Parris are in direct contact today for Eze. Understand Spurs are willing to offer 55 million fixed fee plus 5 million in add-ons to get the deal done. Eze informed Palace last week of his desire to join Arsenal. I wish Arsenal. Spurs. I'm projecting. Why not? Why are you ramping with this? You would die for Saka, mate. You would die for him. Stop it, man. Pain. He solved so many issues for us. Come on, man. Gyökeres forgot the ball behind in a 1v1. Let's be objective. Strikers don't get a lot of big chances in a big game, which is true. But how many clear-cut chances did we create for him? It doesn't matter. My point is not even Gyökeres. You can apply it to Gyökeres, to Saka, whoever you want. Kai Havertz. We need to create more. We can create more. I don't know what to say that is an objective. Olu, I can't lie. You definitely have an agenda against Gyökeres because you keep commenting certain things. The man's our striker. Get over it. Get over it. Tottenham will get a free run at signing Eze from Crystal Palace after Arsenal dropped their interest. Spurs are now increasingly confident of securing the signing of the England international for a fee in excess of 60 million. Personal terms already said to have been agreed, and the player himself is keen on a move to last season's Europa League winners. Obviously, Spurs beat Manchester United in the final. He was part of the game against Chelsea on Sunday, scored a cracking free kick. Why it was disallowed, I don't know, people. Crystal Palace are in talks to sign Al Khanous. Hey, Mikel Arteta better. I would love 2 new attackers. I think 1 is a minimum, but whether you get 2, 1 or none, you lot are telling me you have enough. Make it work. Make sure there's something to celebrate in May. Earlier this summer, it appeared that Arsenal represented Eze's #1 choice, and according to Romano, the attacking midfielder was open to the idea of rejoining the club that discarded him as a youngster. And you know why it annoys me as well, yeah? Because you can't listen to the media. But we heard the Madueke and Eze deals were separate. Now we need to sell to get rid. It is what it is. Apparently, we are said to be content with our attacking options as things stand. Big up Wanyeri for his new deal as well. But come on, you're placing our season essentially, if something happens to Odegaard, on either Kai Havertz in the 10 or the young shoulders of Wanyeri, in which if you're good enough, you're old enough, you're going to have to do your thing. But it's not making sense to me. Arsenal had been looking at Eze all summer. There were mixed messages, but the talk in the last 2 weeks has been that they prefer a left winger after themselves. Has Martinelli pissed off everyone that much? Arsenal have huge PSR headroom and could have easily completed a 68 million deal for Eze if they had wished to, according to Kieran Maguire, folks, people. Real Madrid officials have informed Rodrigo they're ready to listen to offers for him. Both City and Arsenal are interested, and the Brazilian would be keen to join either team. Yeah, right. I wouldn't mind, I can't say Akelushe, but apparently City have identified Monaco's Magnus Akelushe as a cheap alternative to Rodrigo in case they don't sign the Madrid star. Real Madrid would consider a swap deal with Arsenal for Rodrigo and Saliba. Yeah, right. Not at this time. If you want Leao, you're going to be disappointed because he has never been an option for Arsenal, according to Romano, and will stay at AC Milan this summer. Kiwior might leave Arsenal today. He's not in the matchday squad against Manchester United. Talks are ongoing regarding the transfer. Obviously, that was yesterday. Porto made an official offer in July, and are very likely to be his destination. The Dragons haven't given up on this matter. The Pole wants to leave England. Fair enough. One love. Monaco have a couple of decent players, man. Apparently, Leverkusen submitted their first bid for Ben Seger. It was rejected by Monaco. Surely could get involved in these kind of deals. Ornstein said Arsenal have a lot of PSR headroom, so they could do more, but they're tight on the UEFA financial fair play rules. Big up Ornstein, but the UEFA financial fair play rules, bro. This is now, we never heard about that before. Now we're hearing about that. It's the next twang. I don't believe it. I refuse to believe it. Berta is now really focused on agreeing a new contract with William Saliba. Arsenal want to go strong. The Gunners are aware that he is high on Real Madrid's list and want to avoid an attack. Jordan Davies, who I believe works for the Sun, Arsenal have told Stuttgart to lower their demands for Fabio Vieira. Have been told by Stuttgart to lower their demands for Fabio Vieira. The Germans only want to pay a maximum of 17 million, including add-ons, while Arsenal are eyeing a deal closer to 25 million. Stuttgart ready to move to other targets if talks break. Boy, is what it is. Anyone believe BS? If you want to listen to some BS, Arsenal are ready to make a move for Barcelona midfielder Frankie de Jong when his contract expires next summer. So he's signing a new contract at Barcelona, clearly. Xabi Alonso spoke about Rodrigo. There are many rumors in the summer, but I've seen him well, and I count on everyone. I count on Rodrigo for sure, 100%. I mean, count on him in what capacity? So yeah, apparently we're in concrete talks to sell Kiwior. He was excluded from the matchday squad. He made 30 appearances last season. There's talk of a loan with an option to buy. We have heard, in addition to Porto, Leverkusen, Napoli, AC Milan are all interested. Is Zinchenko close to leaving as well? Because assuming these guys don't leave, there is going to be, obviously, when people get, God forbid, but people are going to get injured. Right now, everybody's fit. People are going to have to be left out the match day squad. Is Zinchenko going to be part of it? Kiwior part of it, etc., etc.? Because at this moment in time, with 2 weeks or so left of the window, Kiwior's still here, Lokonga's still here, Trossard's still here, Zinchenko's still here. Things are still there. Was Trossard even on the bench yesterday? Can't remember. Anyways, yeah, the latest one that looks like he could be going on, based on reports, seems to be Kiwior and probably Fabio Vieira, based on the Stuttgart things. In addition to Kiwior, Arsenal are close to offloading Zinchenko, and reports in Turkey state that an agreement worth roughly 10 million euros has been reached with Fenerbahce. The Gunners have only sold Tavares and Marquinhos for a combined 8 million euros so far this summer. Seems like everybody's making money for outgoings apart from us. While Partey, Tierney, Tomiyasu, Jorginho have all departed on Bosman deals. On the other hand, they've spent 224.2 million euros on the signings of Zubimendi, Gyökeres, Madueke, Norgard, Kepa, and Mosquera. Even with Mosquera, like, we might not need certain, man. Yesterday, we were said to have registered our interest in PSG attacker Kang In Lee. I don't believe it, but apparently Arsenal are one of a number of teams that are following the situation of the 24-year-old, according to Court Offside, which also notes both Napoli and Man United. Apparently, we've been in direct contact to negotiate a deal with Lee, who has an estimated transfer value of 26 million euros. It is added that PSG are open to negotiations, and the player's priority is to move to a club where he can get more regular starting football. It don't make sense, though, because you might play a lot more here than at PSG, but you're not really playing like that. Can we get as close to 200 likes as possible? Mods, come on. Got 147, so you'll have to see, man. It's never a boring day where Arsenal concerned. Never a boring day where Arsenal concerned. So, yeah, man, but we need to get a move on. We really do need to get a move on. Just leave that there, man. Trossard was on the bench. Arsenal can't sell for high value because of high wages. Edu the Clown put these players on high wages. Edu is at fault. He's not here anymore, though, man. He was on the bench, Trossard, but Noni came on ahead of him, which suggests he could possibly be on his way out. Maybe, probably, but then there might be a... You're right, but then what if Arteta just wanted to use Madueke ahead of Trossard? But even that, if you were to get two attackers like I want, Eze, Rodrigo, whoever, like, what does the bench look like? What if Lokonga and Vieira have no genuine takers? What then? We can't force them on other players. They're gonna have to stay in it. Then you have to look at loans. I would rather use Fabio Vieira in the squad in some capacity than Lokonga, if that makes sense. Like, there's nothing Lokonga can do, bro. Martinelli was decent in comparison yesterday to scapegoat. There is elements of scapegoatism, but his decision making, it's just Martinelli in it. Like, at this point, DG Eze is better than our left wing and Cam. L on not getting him, and bigger L letting Spurs. Boy, Arsenal won't sign anyone. Eze news was BS to placate fans. Now Arsenal are after Semenyo again, or just signed a new deal, and Rodrigo again. It's all BS to stop complaints. I don't believe the Semenyo stuff, man. I don't believe the Semenyo stuff. I really don't. I'll have him, especially if we can't have anything else. You saw what he did against Liverpool. He's obviously a good player, but they're saying 70 million. Surely. And Bournemouth have been ransacked. Like, they've lost their whole back five. Imagine losing your whole back five, and then obviously your whole back five, and then you're losing your magic man. You're gonna have to pay a serious fee. Now, do I think you can tempt Semenyo? Of course, but at the end of the day, time is ticking. They've lost several other players. He's gonna cost mad money. Their bank balance has been topped up. Long gone are the days where you can just bully Premier League teams. You know, when we wanted Rice, we had to wait. You know, when United wanted Maguire, even in Buemo, Brentford played hardball. You know, Isak will go Liverpool, in my opinion, but they're making it difficult. You've got to pay the going rate now. And then obviously you throw in the fact that Bournemouth, well, you just made a quick money off of Howson. Zabani's gone for something. Fair enough. You know, Kirkez has bought you something. There might have been some other outgoings. It's difficult. I feel sorry for what's their manager called again, man? His name's escaped my Bournemouth guy, man. Good manager, anyways, from the same kind of region of Spain as Arteta. I can't remember his name, but yeah, DG was spot on about us not dropping 60 million on two 27-year-olds in a season. I want to be wrong, but at the same time, bro, it's bait. You know how our club operates. You brought in Zubimendi, who's 26. Last year, you got Marino. You know, we all know about the players that need to be moved on, or players that need to be moved on now, or players that could be moved on that are on big wages. You don't want Eze as much as the fans. That's not me saying the club think he's a bad player in that, but you don't want him. I know no two deals are different, but you wanted Madueke, you wanted either Sesko or Gyökeres. You got these deals done. And I know things, you know, there's moving parts and all of that, but you want Eze on a deal, or you want Eze on the circumstances, which is too good to say no. Like, you're not, the release clause, the release clause expiring was irrelevant because we knew the club didn't want to do any of that. We know we need to get rid of players. He's 27 like the rest of them, so there's no resale value. I'm not saying I care about these things. These are reality. Where you look at the 10 row, you have whether I'm not saying he can't play ahead of Odegaard, but we know we're going to see Zubimendi, Rice, and Odegaard. We're not going to see a one of Rice or Zubimendi and then Eze, Odegaard, or Nwaneri is rotating it, which is why I want Eze, because I do, God forbid, I think we're going to really suffer if something happens to Zubimendi or Rice, more so Zubimendi in the middle and final third. But they want to bet on Nwaneri, which cool. I want to see Nwaneri play, but you're placing a lot on an 18-year-old who, let's have it right, quality player making inroads, but needs to learn how to really affect the game throughout 90 minutes. Leicester away last year was the first one off the top of my head. So you've got Nwaneri there, who we've signed a new contract as well. You've got, you've got Odegaard there. I'm not saying I want this, but you do have the, there is the scope to play Kai Havertz in that 10. I think if Havertz didn't have that hamstring injury last year and Odegaard was stinking out the gaff, you would have seen that. I don't really think you rate him as a left winger like that. So I think too much things have to fall into place. If you get some sales, if, Palace give you a quote-unquote a deal, I don't think they want Eze like that, which I want Eze, cool. But Berta, you've done your thing as a sporting director. Mikel Arteta, you've been here for 6-7 years. You've, 50 mil a year, 50 mil a year contract. You got your UEFA A license. You don't know more about football than me. So me as an armchair expert, I think we're 2 attackers short. I think it'll be a great travesty not even to get one. Whether we get 1, 2, or none, you're telling me you've got enough. I don't care if you tried. That's not my business. Whether you tried to get signings or not. I'm just a fan. Make sure it works. Because you can't keep standing in the rain and complaining you're wet. But that's just me. That's just me. Gyökeres will be calm. It is what it is, man. Arteta still rates Odegaard highly. He knows Eze would complicate ish up top for him. I don't want to win then. Then again, I believe Arteta doesn't like players like Eze who can dribble at players and try to commit. But then even that, like yesterday, couple of the transitions. I'm not saying Odegaard can't pattern up, but couple of the transitions. Bro, Eze's cooking. Eze's feeding Gyökeres. Eze's feeding someone else. Fair enough. Make it work, innit? And as much as I want Rodrigo and Eze, when I see Eze, that's a versatile magic player with stardust that is multifunctional in a number of roles. Rodrigo's a talismanic left winger. If you can't get those 2 players specifically, the skill set, because I have not seen anything unprecedented as we were told. Make it work. Make it work. Or you're going to have to live or die by your decision. So when it works, I will personally applaud you. But when it goes left, I have to have criticism. I don't know what's wrong with that personally. It is what it is, though. Why sign a new contract and not play the boy when Odegaard was getting tired? I must admit, I hear you. I wouldn't have brought on Wanyeri yesterday in midfield. You would have. I said it in my live stream. I'm sure we're doing a watch along. He would have come on for Saka for me. I wouldn't have put him in midfield then. But then even that, I don't think that's the game for him. But how is it ever going to be the game for you if you don't start in the game like that or you don't get blooded? This is where it's a double-edged sword in that you have to keep the same team, but you also have to rotate. You have to go for the experience, but you also have to give the young players a chance. It's long, man. It's long, bro. All right, chat, be nice. I feel like when Yeri re-signing and us buying Madueke halted us buying him. We didn't want Eze then. Clearly didn't want Eze like that, which vexes me. You didn't want Eze like that. He didn't. Because Eze should have been here immediately before Madueke. And I know no two signings are the same. I'm not even dissing Madueke. You do your thing. Arteta, you have to make that work. You signed off on that. What's DG saying on the German Ross Barkley? Who's that, though? No doubt you're coming for Arsenal players. Who's that? Our likely options for the replacement of Trossard and Martinelli are running out. Probably going to have to firm it, lock in again. Not ideal. And then Ravi, if that's the case, they're going to have to hold that. Us fans, we can bitch. The players can bitch. Pardon my French. Dead. If that's dead, then that's dead. And you're just hoping, because it's getting to the point now, like I'm going to need a fit Gabriel Jesus. I'll be real. Because I look at, listen, we're going to support all the boys. We hope Madueke can do a thing. But Madueke, Trossard, Martinelli, it's looking like the end. And then Jesus. If I say those four names, every one of you is probably going to pick another option. You got four men that no one's really screaming like that. Like, you don't really know what you're going to get, which is why for me, Arteta and the players, Arteta and the people above you, have to hold that. You'll have to hold that. I do think Martinelli's getting scapegoated, but I do think he put himself about more. Let's be honest, the only thing that's saving Martinelli, and it's scary when you start, well, it kind of signifies, you know, where we're at now. When we're talking about wingers who should be going that way, he puts in a shift there. Like some of you that have seen, I genuinely thought yesterday, Martinelli was going to go right back at one point. I genuinely felt that. Oh, Verts. I think Verts will be okay, man. The problem with Verts is the same thing that's going to happen with Sesko and Buemo, Cunha, Gyökeres. If you're not getting a million goals, the world's onto you, bro. Nah, the game's the game. The game is the game. Of course, Liverpool overpaid for Verts, but you're always going to have to overpay for quality players. Lookman, we're going to have to forget that. Oh, no drama, just bantering you. We're not Arsenal. I stand corrected. You're part of DG Nation. Everyone be nice, man. Well, you know.